What's up, people? This is Samelo TV. This is the preview to Everton versus Chelsea at Goodison Park. Tonight is the eve of that game. In a few hours, we'll have a chance of going above Liverpool, albeit temporarily, in the Premier League standings. Today, we saw Arsenal go within a point of us when they dismantled Crystal Palace quite convincingly. We're not going to talk too much about that, but then Liverpool takes on Tottenham, and who knows what Tottenham shows up tomorrow. We might be able to actually and go until Christmas atop the league. Today I'm going to go over some talking points, Maresca's press conference, a few stats, and just general feelings about this game that's coming up. So let's just jump right into it. Okay, so here's Maresca's press conference. Yeah, Maresca continues to be honest about possible outgoings in January transfer, and I'm still getting used to Maresca's honesty, unfiltered honesty, which Noni himself alluded to. If you remember, Noni talked about what he likes about Maresca being his honesty. He's a fair coach, and that's something that we cannot take for granted. He tells you exactly what he thinks, and if you look at some of the quotes from this press conference, he talks about Reece being eased back into the team, which is definitely a good news. We do not want our captain to continue to stay out. We may have backups in that role with Caicedo and Gusto, but ultimately we know a healthy Rhys James is still one of the best right backs in the league or the world. And then he talks about Joao being back, Romeo being questionable. Romeo picked up a knock in that game against Tottenham, where he had to be withdrawn at halftime. So there's a good chance that he might play, but they're just monitoring him according to his quote here. He said, and then Fofana and Badiashile will be out for a while. And then if you look at the quotes, direct quotes, he talks about Joao Felix is back. You saw Romeo probably will struggle to play Sunday versus Everton. We will see. It depends. And the rest are all clear. He said they're peak. Then a few things he talks about regarding the possible outgoings in the transfer window. He said there are players who unfortunately didn't play a lot with us. That's the honesty I was talking about. Like Chilwell, like Carney, and probably they are the first who want to leave in January because they work and train every day, because they want to play. With each player, there's a different situation. So we're going to see if some of them come knock on my door to say they want to leave, but it depends. We try to find a solution. Just seems like a fair coach. He's like, yo, I know y'all want to play, but right now, a lot of you are coming to training. You're putting in the yards. You're putting in the work. You're not getting minutes. It makes sense that there will be some of you that want to leave. And if that happens, we got to find a solution. It seems like a very fair thing to say. But, most coaches won't say that. And I'll be honest, when he said to Sterling early in the season that he wasn't going to be getting any minutes, I thought that was outrageous. But this is Maresca. We should get used to a guy that speaks very clearly, and there's no mincing his words, there's no misinterpretation. People that are going around saying that he's trying to downplay our chances in the Premier League when he keeps saying we're not in the title race. He's not playing. When he says we're not ready, Maresca is being honest, is being frank. And that's the kind of coach we have. And then he talks about the young players like Mark Gill, like Josh, Tyreek. For me, the best thing for them is to be with us because they understand every day the way we play. They can grow. We can teach them how we want them to play. It is better if they stay with us than it depends a little on the desire. So basically, he's saying a lot of them might want to leave, but he thinks the best thing for them, for their development, is for them to stay. If they stay around, they have a chance to learn the system. They will get their chance. It may not be right now. It may just be in the conference league, but that is valuable experience to learn under the system which we expect to be around for at least the next 5-6 years under Maresca, where it's kind of bleeding through the same way the city's style of play bled through from the first team down into the youth teams. He's saying you hang around, you learn. Like Josh and Tyreek just got their own lockers in the locker room. These guys they're not getting minutes in the league. They may not get any minutes at least for a while, even maybe all season. But I think for most of them, it does make sense for them to hang around. You learn the system. We continue to build up together, and then maybe there's a chance for some of them to break into the first team. But you don't get that chance if you are trying to just force your way out. And then here are some of this is our stat. This is what it looks like the last 6 games against Everton. So Chelsea has won 2, drawn 2, lost 2. This is just our last game at home was the Cole Palmer 4 goals game where he totally dismantled Everton, and then they beat and then at Goodison Park in 2023. Everton beat us 2-0, and then Chelsea, Everton, we drew with them. So we gotta look at the full time, okay? Away to Everton, we won in 2022, and away to Everton we lost, and then in 2022 as well. And then in the last time, in 2021, it was a draw. So, yeah, we haven't really been the best here. And we know that Marco Corella is going to be out, which gives a chance allows for our coach to flex his tactical muscle. Renato Vega, Gusto might get a start in that position. Sancho, Caicedo should be tasked to put in the shift as well. Well, in that position, Caicedo could be given a chance because we know he can play right back and invert into the midfield. But it all just depends on Lavia starting. If Lavia starts, we might be able to invert Caicedo and push Gusto out to the left back position, and maybe he'll invert more and then most likely he'll be the one to stay back and allow for Caicedo to tuck in. But we're definitely gonna be missing Cucurella, who's been in a great vein of form these past couple of games, and he scored in the last 2 games he's played, even scored midweek in the Conference League. So and just to keep it real with you, we can forgive Jorgensen getting a start unless Sanchez can't play for any reason. That could be due to injury or illness. But as long as Sanchez is fit, I think the coach has made it clear that he's going to persist with him, and I think we can all just accept it. I don't think he's that terrible a player anyway, but I think that's what it is. And like I said earlier, we can go top for a few minutes before Liverpool plays So if that happens, expect the title talk to intensify. All that talk of us being in the title race, expect that to just keep coming back. We're gonna keep talking about that. We're gonna keep being humble. But it'd be hard to be humble if we continue to do well and just especially if Tottenham finds a way to take points off Liverpool tomorrow, which they can do. It depends on what Tottenham shows up tomorrow. If they play their stupid high line, then they might get cooked. But if they play to their abilities, they're a very free flowing team. They score goals, so I think this game could easily be a draw, or they could get demolished by Liverpool. But we'll see that. We just need to handle our own ourselves tomorrow, and this is us in our last 8 games. We've won the last 8 games. We won against Leicester City in the league, and we beat FC Heidenheim, which was a difficult game. If y'all remember, we also beat Aston Villa at home, which is one of our best games of the season. And then we went over to Southampton and put a beating on those jokers. I don't think we're going to have Aston Villa in the league next season, if I'm being honest. And then we went over to Tottenham Hotspur and we took care of business as well. Even though we went down early in the game, we came back and took care of business. And then in the Conference League, we took care of Astana as well. And last weekend, we took care of Brentford at home, which was another difficult game, which ended up kind of edgy. It kind of got tricky at the end, and then we got to Shamrock Rovers during the week and took care of business. So, yeah. So, as Chelsea fans, we used to pray for times like these. So, it's totally cool to be happy and just be glad, because we've been on our banter era for these last couple of years. And if things continue to progress the way they are, we might have exited our banter era and be stepping into real contender era now, and take our place at the helm of European excellence and pedigree. Nani to me deserves to start, but Neto was rested midweek, so expect Neto to start. I expect Neto to, maybe play 60 minutes and Madueke comes in and get some minutes to end the game when they're starting to get tired. But if you pay attention, I've been seeing Nani, these last 2 games, 2 crosses, excellent crosses resulting in goals. That's 2 assists. He said he was selfish, but dude has a wand of a left foot, and I didn't know he could cross like this. But that in-swinging cross, that Ziyech kind of cross that he's shown recently, I'm sure that's been coached. This is not by accident. That's the point of having a great coach, because I'm sure it's been coached. They're like, bro, you can do this. You can get a few assists, boost up your GA. We'll look around. This dude got already five goals and I think three assists or something like that. And just like that, the stats look good. We're in an age of stats, so you gotta rack them up. And if it leads and if it ends up being what wins us games, even better. So let's talk about Gil for a second. Gil deserves some credit. He continues to deliver in the Conference League, and everyone's noticing. The guy cost us $6 million in the summer market, and I personally had really high hopes for him. He's a really big kid, an 18-year-old that looks like a full-grown man. He presses like a madman. He's relentless, and I think he can be used in some games in the Premier League where he can come up the bench and put some pressure on tired defenses, because he's fearless. He's just relentless. One of the goals he scored during the week, he essentially threw himself to score the goal and banged his body against the post and got right back up. That's the beauty of youth. You just bounce right up. You heal quickly. You heal quickly. So, man, it was so cool to see him really shine, get his hat trick this week. And I don't care where you get your hat trick. You get a hat trick, that's commendable. And that's one of those things that can turn out to be one of our bargains at the end of the season. And then Joe Cole even alludes to it. He says, and Joe Cole goes, my thought with Marguerite is how Barcelona let him go. The kid in 2 years' time will be an established number 9. I mean, people are noticing. They're seeing it. I think he can go all the way. I think Barcelona have made a mistake. I don't think they made a mistake, to be fair. They really needed to get rid of some talent to bring in some more talent because of their financial situation. Those dudes are always broke for some reason. But I think that could really be another good business, a bit of good business come, in a few years. So it deserves some credit. And then, but yeah, overall, this is Gu is one of those guys that I think that in a few years we can really look back and say we cooked on that transfer. We cooked as far as when it comes to his transfer fee and picking him up when we did. So very excited for what happens with Gu. And as for the game, my final thoughts are that I think that we shouldn't overreact if we don't get the results that we're looking for tomorrow. I personally think that we're gonna put everything to the sword. We're gonna win quite convincingly, but I believe that we're not going to continue to just win out. So I feel like we should be honest with where we are as a team. There'll be hard times in the future, but we are a good team. And then we should embrace that. We should enjoy this run that we're experiencing right now, because not many people get to enjoy this. So let me know your thoughts in the comment. All right, like, subscribe, and then I'll be back with the review after the game. And let's hope that our beloved Chelsea gets the win.